People love to hate on us for using a Nord as a MIDI controller for an iPad. But what if you could use your iPad as a Nord? There's an insanely cool new iPad app out from the fine folks at AudioKit. If you're not familiar, they make synth apps for iPad, including my favorite iPad synth that I've talked about before, King of Digital. And they've released a new plugin called the Nerd Synth. This is a virtual analog synth inspired by the original Nord Lead A1, which was released in the 90s and still sounds incredible. This Nerd Synth is a full-featured synth with lots of sound design options, over 450 presets, and it's super affordable. So let's see if we can bring some classic Nord Lead sounds into Sunday Keys using plugin hosting. I have a blank patch inside the Sunday Keys app, and I can add the Nerd Synth via plugin hosting to any sound. So I'm just gonna tap Add Sound, and then in the browser, I'm gonna hit the Library option and scroll down to Third-Party Plugins. These are all the third-party AU V3 plugins I have already installed on my iPad. I'm gonna click the AudioKit folder because I have several plugins from these guys, and then I'm gonna choose Nerd Synth right here, and I'm gonna load it in. This is the main screen of the Nerd Synth. Let's just go ahead and see what we get right out of the gate. Now, just like all the AudioKit instrument plugins, the UI gets pretty deep pretty fast. So you can view information about the oscillators, LFOs, effects. There are 2 different chaos pads for real-time modulation. And there's even a Pro tab where you can get very specific about the minute details. Let's just start off by trying out a few different presets. I'm gonna tap the next arrow a couple times here and just see what we find. It has this really cool sort of hybrid analog digital sound, which the Nord A1 also very much had. And to be clear, a lot of those presets are still inside of today's modern Nords. The synthesis engine has persisted since that time and has just been iterated upon. So if you love the synth engine in modern Nords, this plugin is going to be able to get you into a lot of similar territory. Those are just a few of the presets. Let me show you, if you tap the preset name here, you can view all the presets in a bank. I think each bank has like 42, it looks like 48 presets. And then there are, at the time of this video, 12 different banks. So like I said at the beginning, there's like 450 plus presets to explore. The thing that jumps out to me though, as we're just sort of starting to find our way around, is all these presets feel really useful right out of the gate. There aren't a ton of like throwaway or oddball presets that you just wouldn't know what to do with, or you think, oh, it'd be a cool sound if I spent a bunch of work refining it and dialing it in. Like this pad sound is just beautiful right as it is without any adjustments needed. So let's just go ahead and add the SK Grand piano from Sunday Keys to play alongside of this pad. And then, man, I think I could play an entire worship song with just these 2 things combined. I'm gonna grab this extra soft SK Grand. We'll just put these 2 things together. Sort of reminds me of some like Hillsong United stuff from Zion, Aftermath sort of era, this sort of fuzzy pad thing that they had going on for a while. There's a lot of motion there. It's really beautiful to me. Of course, we could smush this out a little bit, make the pad a bit more ambient. Let's add space verb to this sound. I'll bring down the dry and up the wet mix a little. That's just gonna sort of smooth out those bits of motion in the pad and help it blend with the piano. And then we could adjust the EQ as well. So I could tap over to the EQ tab, maybe bring down the brightness a touch. That might even let me bring the volume back up just a touch here. And now, of course, anytime you're hosting a plugin inside of the Sunday Keys app, you still have seamless audio transitions from patch to patch and the full power of saving snapshots. So we could save a snapshot and start this song with just the pad. And then we could bring in the piano a bit with our second snapshot. And then for maybe our bigger finish, we'll increase the volume of the pad and add an octave and a delay to the piano. So we're able to really take control over how our plugins interact with our Sunday Keys sounds. Plugin hosting doesn't ask you to compromise the way you use either kind of sound. It's really pretty cool. Here's just our pad, and fade in this piano. And then bring in these effects. And then we could bring it down to end with just that pad again. Really lovely. I am super impressed by this synth, and I think I could probably spend a whole nother video digging into the way that everything is programmed, exploring the modulation. So if you haven't checked it out for yourself, go ahead to the App Store and search for Nerd Synth. I think you're gonna like it. That's super gritty. That's cool.